cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. Those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. Just a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I long to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow all my blues away.
I always loved watching the kids play basketball. I still do, even though things have changed. It's funny, they can't find jobs to get their careers started. And I can't afford to retire. And now we're all living together again. I supported President Obama because he spoke so beautifully. He promised change, but things changed for the worse. Obama started spending like our credit cards have no limit. His healthcare law made health insurance even more expensive. We've had stimulus and bailouts. Obama added almost $16,000 in debt for every American. How will my kids pay that off when they can't even find jobs? Now Obama wants more spending and taxes. That won't fix things. I had so many hopes. Cutting taxes and debt and creating jobs. That's the change we need. Tell President Obama to cut the job-killing debt and support the New Majority Agenda at newmajorityagenda.org.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
All right, welcome back to the Conservative Blues Show. And, my partner in crime that was way over there, well, he finally decided to mosey on over this way. So introduce to you that cult of personality with a little conservative stuck in there, Mr. Kerry Shelton.
Hoo-ah. How y'all doing, Dan? Sorry I'm late, buddy.
That's all right. It happens. At least you weren't asleep like I was the last time.
We had both family activities that we needed to taken care of, and mine just ran a little longer than yours. Is all.
Yeah, that's all. It's all good. Anyhow, so what's been going on in the big wide world over here?
Well, I wanted to take the show in a direction here, and it's funny because I've been getting actually a lot of questions lately about the fiscal cliff and what Just what is it? All right, we got a few weeks left in 2012, and we keep hearing about these fiscal cliff negotiations and how if the Congress and the president can't come to some sort of agreement, that we're going to go off this so-called fiscal cliff. And people are going to say, so what is it? Right?
I don't know. You tell me.
You don't know. Okay, well, you're going to be on some of those sound clips in a minute that we're going to talk about. First off, let's start off with PJTV's take on this. So a short clip there. If you go ahead and hit that, and we'll get them started, talk about it, and then we'll come back and we can fill the folks in on what it is.
You got it.
3 weeks to go before we go over the fiscal cliff, and you know what that means. Vroom, vroom. Stand by for a little hair of the dog. You're going to need it this week.
Will they really let it happen? Will political gridlock force us over the fiscal cliff and into a new recession with higher taxes for everyone?
Just a reminder for you, taxes are already going up for the rich on New Year's Day when Obamacare starts to kick in. And just a little by the way to go with it, rich means households earning as little as $75,000, $80,000 a year, but we'll just pretend it's all millionaires and billionaires, right? No, let it burn! But in the unlikely event letting it burn doesn't work, we've got Ellen Simpson to explain what the two sides should really be doing.
Also, don't you think that the Democrats are going to have to agree to some entitlement reforms?
Sure, but you don't have to do the tax increase. You go into the tax code and dig into those tax expenditures, but there's no time to do that.
Did you get that? Entitlement reform is tax reform that we don't have time to. Senator, could you clarify that for us, please?
Jeez, I got a bum knee. The lasso again, and then the horseback. Horse. Get on the ready, the cowboys ride.
I think I get it. This thing is going to burn whether we let it or not. I want to cry. Instead, let's go to Fox News Sunday, where we had Chuck Schumer as one of the top two guests, and you know what? He gave it away. He revealed how the Democrats are going to play this and how they're going to pin it on the GOP. Watch this clip. It's very educational stuff.
Well, I think we will get a deal. I think everyone realizes how important it is. Our economy is moving up some, not fast enough, but some, and to go over that cliff would be terrible.
The economy is going up. That's the gambit right there. The economy is not going up. It's barely treading water. But if the Democrats can sell this idea that the economy is going up and then the evil Republicans took it all away, well, they win. They'll bankrupt the country because they're not going to fix anything, but they'll win. Question is, how do you avoid this trap? Well, I don't know. We had a chance last month and we blew it. So before I start to cry again, let's change the channel and move along to This Week with Democratic Operative George Stephanopoulos, and he's talking entitlement reform with Debbie Stabenow, which is like talking quantum mechanics with Debbie Stabenow. Just
Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security all have to have significant reform. Everyone's going to have to sacrifice. Can you accept that?
George, let's look at the facts first of all.
Let me translate that for you. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do anything. Look, if the Democrats actually cared about the poor and the elderly, they would be way out in front on fixing Medicare and Social Security before they go broke. Instead, they'd rather use them as weapons against the GOP. It's not with politics here. Either that, or maybe they just don't listen to George Will. He had the best line of the weekend, and, well, you don't want to miss this.
I would like to postulate that the real problem in the country today isn't the divisions we talk so much about, it's a consensus. As broad as the Republic, as deep as the Grand Canyon, and it is this: we should have an ever more generous welfare state and not pay for it.
Now, to see how that works in practice, let's go to our man and woman on the street, Duke and Debbie.
Oh, dear. What a shame.
Come on, Duke. Let's go do those crimes.
Yeah. Let's go get sushi and not pay.
Okay, well, you've made your little noises there at the end of it there. So what are you trying to say, Bo?
All right, so let's look at it. So what is a fiscal cliff? Basically, it's a term that was coined by the Fed chief, Ben Bernanke. It's in a nutshell, it's a steep drop-off of the economy at the end of the year that's thanks to some tax increases and some automatic budget cuts that are scheduled to happen. Now, let's look at some of the pieces of it so we can get a better understanding of what the fiscal cliff really is.
Okay.
All right? Now, first, we're talking about tax hikes, okay? People are calling it Tax-mageddon. That's getting ready to happen on January 1st. All right? And the Heritage Foundation's Morning Bell puts it this way. Most of this massive tax increase stems from the expiration of the 2001 and 2003 tax cuts implemented under President George W. Bush. There's also the payroll tax cut, the alternative minimum tax patch, and a host of other policies that expire at year's end. In addition, 5 of the 18 tax increases built into Obamacare are scheduled to go into effect. Families will bear the brunt of this tax increase among American households, with an average increase of over $4,100 in taxes. Now, let's look at this realistically. We keep hearing about how the Obama administration only wants to raise taxes on the quote-unquote wealthy, and how he defines wealthy as families that make over $250,000 a year or individuals that make over $200,000 a year. Well, when a closer inspection of this, these things are going to affect families, households that are making between $75,000 and $80,000. Yeah, you and I, my friend.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to be severe. My household income is nicely over that, so I expect a nice little increase in my taxes come January 1st. Now, raising taxes on the upper income earners, the 250,000s and above, this is going to affect the lion's share of the small business people, the job creators. The CBO already forecasting another recession in 2013. Now, we're at loggerheads here because the Republicans in the House want to extend the current tax rates for everybody, and President Obama's already drew his line in the sand saying that he's not going to accept any plan that doesn't raise taxes on the quote-unquote wealthy. So there is the first tier of the fiscal cliff. Next comes the defense cuts, or the sequestration. Okay?
Okay.
These were never, ever supposed to have happened. Right?
Right.
Because let's think back during the last super committee that met to deal with the raise in the debt ceiling. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we bitched and moaned about it, but one of the outcomes of the super committee was, yes, they would raise this debt ceiling, and only if they couldn't come to agreement. If they couldn't come to agreement, there was going to be across the board severe tax cuts, most notably on defense. Well, guess what? We haven't come to any agreements. There's no budget in effect, so now these cuts are getting ready to gut the military readiness because of negotiations gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking. Was it a $500 billion defense budget cut?
Right.
Okay, so while the liberals who look at this and don't like our military, they're going to say, well, good, they don't need all that stuff anyway.